Hey guys, I never know for sure whether these are live or not. It says I'm live, so hopefully I'm there. So let's jump, those of you that are here, I know we had some people that were waiting. Why don't you jump in the chat and let me know, does it sound okay? Does it look okay? I'm using a new computer that I've never used before for a live broadcast like this, so I want to make sure that everything is all right. So, kind of just waiting for things to refresh here and people to jump in. So hopefully we are live. I never know. Okay, all right, guys. So let's see. I'm using a new computer that I've never used before for a live broadcast like this. So okay, we are definitely live. Sorry, guys, for the slow start. Okay, people here, and we are ready to go. Good. All right. Thank you, Angelica. Hi. Rick Stone here from Our Stoney Acres. Welcome to our channel. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Love to have you as a subscriber on the channel. So today I thought I would do something different. I haven't been on and done a live like this for a little while, so I got my seed order today. This is one of many that I get throughout the year, but this is actually my biggest one. And so I thought that I'd open it up on the channel and talk about what we're going to be planting this year, and then just see if you guys have any questions I can answer or anything like that. I'm thinking we're going to be here maybe 10 or 15 minutes unless you guys have a ton of questions, so just let me know. Okay, so here we go. First off, one thing I did want to mention, in the link down below we have a link to our latest challenge. So those of you guys that have been following me for a while know that this spring we've been doing a lot of different gardening related challenges. So we've had 2 seed starting challenges. We're right in the middle of one of them right now, and we're actually going to do, last spring we did a 5-day get your garden planted challenge. We did it in May, and we had a lot of people that said this was great, but let's do it earlier this year. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do it 3 times this season. We're going to do it in late March, mid-April, mid-May. And so down in the description there's a link you can click on to go sign up for the wait list for those, and you can choose which one you want. I'll talk about it at the end because that's not why I'm here really to do that, but so anyways, if you're interested in joining that challenge, there's a link that you can click on down in the description below. Okay, all right, and it looks like we got some people here from New York, Montreal. Awesome, good. Okay, so here's the point today. I got one of my big seed orders in, and I thought I would do a box opening video and see what you guys thought about this. So this is my order from True Leaf Market, okay? So hopefully you guys, now this isn't a sponsored video at all. These guys are just one of my favorite companies, so this is not sponsored. But True Leaf is pretty awesome. Mountain Valley Seeds is their seed line, and then they do sprouts and all kinds of stuff too, so they're pretty cool. Free shout out to them. This isn't a sponsored video or anything like that. First off, kudos to them for shipping in a compostable container. I think I'm going to be able to just shred this and put it in the compost, which is awesome. That's cool. So this is my big seed order, and I had a lot of stuff that I was out of this year, and sorry. Let's see if we can get all the packages out. I thought I would just kind of go through everything. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be, I'll just strip this off, and we should be able to shred this package and compost it, which is awesome. Pretty cool. So Married with Chickens is in the potting shed. Awesome. Glad to hear that. I wish we wish it was warm enough. We're going to have snow again. We had snow over the weekend. We're going to have snow again today. Okay, so let's see what I've got. So I've got a whole bunch of seeds here. This is, let's see if I can get them all up here. Whole bunch. They've really changed their marketing. True Leaf bought Mountain Valley Seeds, and they've gone to just all online, so it's a little bit more Spartan on the packaging, which I like. Okay, all right, so first off, let me just show you what I've got. So this is the biggest package that we ordered, and this is our Green Arrow peas. So this is a variety that we've been growing for 3 years, and we are sold on them. We love Green Arrow peas. The reason why we like them so much is they get they're bigger pods with more peas in them than the traditional shelling pea that we have grown in the past. So if you're interested in a really productive one, again, it's called Green Arrow, and we love these. 3 years that we've been growing these now, and we won't go back to the other ones. This package is some bush beans. So I don't know if you guys can, looks like it's going to be a little shiny. This is Royal Burgundy bush beans, which is actually a purple bean that we really kind of like. It's a green bean. And it does cook green. Unfortunately, it doesn't stay purple. When you cook it, it turns green. But fun, and this is a bush variety that's really productive, and we've been growing these for probably 8 or 10 years. I was just out of seeds for that one. Oh, this is a new one. So this is more peas. Let me figure out where I need to be holding these. This one is called Mammoth Melting, and this is a snow pea. And in the past, I've grown Oregon Giant. And I thought, you know what, this year I'm going to try something different. So this is probably enough seeds to last me a couple of years. So this, again, it's Mammoth Melting, 60 to 69 days. We'll see. They're supposed to be a little bit bigger, and so we'll see what they're like. So that's a new one to us this year. All right. Oh, wow, we've got a lot of people in the comments. I'll jump in there and read those. Another pea. So this is our Sugar Snap pea. We've been growing this one for about 10 years. Really like this one as well. Just kind of your standard Sugar Snap pea. The variety, it's a snap pea, and it's called Sugar Snap as the variety. Oh, this one's great. So this is Coral Bell. I got to figure out how to hold these. Coral Bell sweet peppers. We started growing these 2 years ago. The first year I only had one plant because I didn't know what I was going to think about them. Last year we grew about 6 plants, and we love these peppers. These are by far our favorite sweet pepper. So it's a nice medium-sized bell pepper, and it's orange, and we just love it. It's just amazingly sweet. So Coral Bell is what those are called. We love those. German chamomile. I was just out of chamomile. We grow chamomile. It's a nice little pretty flower, and we will use it occasionally. We'll dry the flowers, or even fresh, we'll use it in an herbal tea. It's really good if you're having a hard time sleeping, especially fresh. If you really want to knock yourself out, make a fresh pot of chamomile tea with fresh flowers. Really super good. So yeah, just standard there. This is another new one to us. So this is a pinto bean. I've never grown a pinto bean before. I've grown black beans, but I've never grown pinto. And this year I thought, you know what, with the way things are, I want to make sure that I know how to grow dry beans, and so I'm going to have more practice, and so we're going to grow some pintos this year. The pictures, unfortunately, Mary, I see asking to show the pictures. It doesn't. They've changed their packaging, and I didn't know this until I opened it up. They're all the same picture, so I can't show you the pictures. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. So there, look. If you look, they're all. It's all exactly the same picture. So I'm really sorry about that. I didn't know that when I opened it up. Next one is another new one that we are going to be growing, and it is called Be Sweet Edamame. So this is basically soybean, and we've never grown soy before, but we actually have been using these quite a bit in stir fries and things like that, and so I thought I'm going to give it a try this year. Dill. This is a new variety of dill that we are going to be growing. It's a smaller, supposed to be a more compact plant, so I thought I would try that, see if it'd take up a little less space in the garden. And beets. This is our standard beet that we grow. So this is Detroit Dark Red, and we love these. We've been growing these for years and years and years and years and years, and just kind of resupplying this year. This is one of our few hybrid tomatoes that we grow. This is Early Girl. I'll actually probably plant these tonight because we put these in Walla Waters, and so I've been waiting for these seeds so that I can get them started. Like I say, we don't grow a ton of heirlooms, or I'm sorry, we don't grow a ton of hybrids, but this is one of them. We usually, if we plant these and I get them in the Walla Waters, I'll end up with about first part of July, we'll end up with some tomatoes. So we're happy for those. Okay, this one is also another fairly new one to us. It's called, and I'm terrible with Spanish words, but it's Corno de Toro sweet pepper. And these are, last year, this is the second year we've grown them. Last year they came in kind of this mix package. This year I got just those. It's a nice, really long red, just a dark red sweet pepper that we really liked last year, and so we're going to do it again this year. Pole beans, just your standard. These are the Kentucky Blue. We kind of switch back and forth between Blue Lakes and Kentucky Blue. We like them both, and so this year that happens to be what we're doing. Popcorn. So, and this, we grow hybrid popcorns. I know I probably should grow an heirloom, but these are so productive, and we're enjoying our popcorn right now. We just actually this weekend husked it all and have been enjoying it here in the house. Another tomato celebrity. This is the other hybrid that we grow, and kind of a standard. This is a really good canner that we grow. My heirloom tomatoes this year that we're growing, all the seeds are seeds that I saved, so didn't have to buy any. This is Bloomingdale spinach, Bloomingdale long-standing, and this is our favorite spinach variety. Although I can't show you. I had a viewer that gave me a different variety that I'm going to grow as well. So this is great for spring and really good for fall. Bloomingdale long-standing is very hardy and does really well. And sweet peas. So this is not a vegetable. This is a flower. Sweet pea. I'm just trying to add more flowers. We usually will grow some zinnia and some marigold and put them in the garden. And this year I thought that I would try to get a few more. Last year we did some morning glory as well. But I'm just trying to attract pollinators, and so we thought we'd try some sweet peas. And then last but not least is a new beet that we are going to be growing. It is called Detroit Golden Detroit beet, and we've kind of fallen in love with the golden beets. I don't know if you guys have tried the golden ones. We've been not growing them, we've just been buying them from the grocery store and really like them, and so we're going to try growing them this year. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, all right, that's it. So that is the seed order for the year. That's obviously not everything that I'm going to be growing. I have a big container full of seeds that we grow every year, and those were just the replacements for this year. So let's see, what do we got going here in the comments? These large packets are really nice, and it depends on a lot of these. I'm actually going to save my own seeds, and so, but these I always just get new with the peas. But yeah, those are great. Yeah, sorry guys, everybody's saying turn the package over, and they all look like this. So sorry about that. Okay, anybody have any questions or anything like that? If you do, I'd love to answer any garden related questions you might happen to have. Looks like we've got a pretty good group here. Yes, I do, Carolyn. I do start my seeds indoors. In fact, I already have seeds going. I started back in late January. I put in some kale that is coming along really well, and then about a week and a half ago I started all of my cool season crops. So I've got lettuce, spinach. Well, no, let's see, I didn't do any spinach. I've got lettuce, I've got more kale, I've got broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, collards, all of that kind of stuff and it's out in my garage under lights. I don't use grow lights. I just use shop lights to start those under, and so those are out in the garage. So I already have those going, and I will be starting the early girl tomatoes that I showed you earlier. Those I will be starting probably tonight, because those will go out early. Our last frost is usually about May 15th, but I use a wall of water to put those some of those tomatoes out early, and I do the early grow. So yes, I definitely do grow my own seeds. Looks like somebody else is growing the golden beets. When should you direct sow your beets? So the nice thing about beets is you can do succession planting so that they don't all come due at the same time. It depends on where you live. Frost date is the most important thing. Usually you can start targeting about 8 weeks before your last frost date for planting those beets. And so I'm going to do that here in about a week. That will be 8 weeks out. So as soon as things, we're going to have snow again tomorrow. As So as soon as things dry out, then I will actually start planting, and I'll put my first planting of beets in hopefully in the next week or so, and then I'll wait a couple of weeks and put some more in, and a couple of weeks more and put some more in as well. So that is a good way to do those. Have I grown sweet potatoes? Yes. And do I grow my own slips? No, I don't. But I am just getting started in the wonderful world of sweet potatoes. I actually may try some slips this year. I need to get that going because it's time to start worrying about that in our area. But last year was actually my first year growing sweet potatoes, and so I'm still learning with the sweet potatoes. We did pretty good. I was fairly happy with our harvest. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad either, so I was pretty happy with it. But that's one of the things that I'm not an expert on yet is sweet potatoes. I'm still learning those. So I do want to at least try and grow a few of my own slips, but I did buy the slips last year. Can I use a cold frame or a 6 mil plastic instead of wall of waters? No. Not for tomatoes and peppers. That's just not a cold frame, and the 6 mil plastic is not enough thermal protection for those warm season crops. And so the wall of waters are pretty unique that way in that they really do a lot of protection there. Okay. Which varieties of tomatoes did I save? I don't have them here. So the variety that I saved last year was my pink Brandywine. So I kind of alternate years on what I'm saving, and last year was the pink Brandywine that I saved. So those will be what I'm planting this year. And what is the best way to save them? Tomatoes are pretty easy to save seeds. If you really want to make sure that they're pure, then you should isolate the plant that you're going to be saving them from. So maybe put it in a different part of your garden. And then basically you just let the fruit ripen and pull the seeds out. You do need to ferment the tomato seeds, which is a little bit of a process, and then you dry those out and away you go. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? When to directly put seeds in Oregon. I can't tell you because I don't. The important thing is not where you live; it's when your frost date is. So most of us can really start getting the cool season crops going about 8 weeks before our last frost. That's kind of pushing it a little bit, but I like to push it a little bit. So about 8 weeks before your last frost, you can start some of the cool things. The secret to my success with beets is to plant a lot of them. I plant them all over the place, and sometimes they do good in some areas and others they don't. I have found that mulching them once they come up, it helps quite a bit, and then succession planting so that you don't have them all coming due, unless you're going to can. If you're going to can, then you would want them to all kind of come due at the same time. If you're just looking for fresh eating, then I would kind of succession plant, and you can grow them in the spring and in the fall, so that's nice. How far before your last frost date can you plant carrots and beet seeds? About 8 weeks is when you can start. And have I grown potatoes in grow bags? Yes, I have. And I didn't love it, but we live in a very dry area. So we're in Utah, and we're in the arid southwest, not really southwest, but the arid west. And so it's really dry here. And so we have to water and water and water and water those grow bags. And so they did okay, but they didn't do like you see the videos. And most of the people, when you see, like, there's this one guy that just does amazing container potatoes, but he lives in England. And so, it's really good conditions for growing them there. So containers, in my opinion, are a great idea. You just have to recognize with potatoes that you have to water them a lot. Like, possibly during the heat of the summer, you'll be watering them every day, because that stress, if they get stressed out from not having water, then you're going to get smaller potatoes. Okay. Which tomatoes would be best to grow to make a sauce with? So there are sauce varieties of tomatoes out there. You can make any tomato into a sauce. You just have to boil it down for a long, long time. But there are thicker paste tomatoes, the Roma varieties and stuff. So just look, at your seed catalogs for sauce-specific tomatoes, and you should be able to find some pretty good ones there. And Mary says she has kale growing in the windowsill now. How early can you put those out? You're also in zone 6. Okay, Mary, kale is very hardy, very hardy. You probably could put it out now if you've got something to protect it with. So some fabric row cover or something like that you could throw over it on the really cold nights. In zone 6, you're probably having some really, like us, we had low 20s and high teens over the weekend. And then, you know, right now we're back to the high 20s and low 30s. So it's fair, you know, kale is fairly hardy. You might hold off another couple of weeks, but you could put them out. If you've got a hoop house, if you've got a cold frame, you could definitely put those out now. I won't be putting my kale out for probably another 3 weeks, just because I know what our weather's going to be like. But you definitely could get them out now, okay? Have I tried multi-sowing beets in cells to transplant? Heather, I have not. I'm not a big fan, and I know Charles Dowding is a big fan of transplanting beets. I'm not a big fan of transplanting any root crops. I don't feel like they do as well, so I just direct sow them. So no, I have not tried that. And then my collards and kale are the only vegetables that survive through the winter. Will they continue to grow? Zone 6A, Connecticut, last frost May 23rd. Thank you for all the information. That's perfect. Yes, they will continue to grow, but they are both going to go to seed. Okay, so they're going to bolt. You can continue to harvest them for a bit, but eventually they are going to go to seed. Now that's a good opportunity for you to collect seed, but if you have both collards and kale and they both go to seed together, they're going to cross-pollinate. So you need to choose one. If you want to collect seed from them, choose one, pull the other ones out before they flower, and then let the others flower, and you can collect seeds from those. But don't have kale and collards flowering in your garden at the same time, because the bees will cross-pollinate them and you won't get true seed. So they will continue to grow for another month or maybe 6 weeks, but then you're going to see them start to bolt and go to seed. And kale is a really easy plant to collect seeds from. So as long as you know, and collards too, as long as you just make sure that only one or the other of them actually goes to flower this year, you could collect seed from those. Do I start my seeds in a soilless mix or in the soil blocks? I do not use soil blocks. I've tried soil blocks and I didn't love them. I do use a soilless mix. So my mix is either, sometimes I'll buy the black gold mix. The other thing that I will do is I will make my own. And so to make my own, I usually will just get some peat moss, and I'll usually mix 7 parts peat moss to 2 parts perlite, and use that as my seed starting mix. So both of those are considered soilless because peat is the main ingredient. If you are not a big fan of peat, which I'm starting to lean away from peat, you can also use cocoa coir as well to create that seed starting mix. But that's what I use. And you could use that same mix in your soil blocks. But I actually use containers, so I use recycled containers that are, you know, just your regular. I've over the years I've collected just tons of old flower pots and things like that I use as my containers. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like the questions are rolling down here, and we're about 25 minutes. I didn't expect to be this long. Thanks for the questions, guys. That was a lot of fun. Before I go, make sure that you go and register for this Start Your Garden challenge that we're going to be doing. So we're going to do this challenge. It's a 5-day challenge, and we're going to do it 3 times this spring. So end of March, middle of April, middle of May. We're hoping that will cover everybody and give everybody a chance to join the challenge. So it'll be 5 days. Each day will have about 20 or 25 minutes worth of a video course for you to teach you a topic. There'll be homework, and the whole idea of this challenge is to get your tail in gear and get out and get your garden planted. Okay, so it's meant to kind of inspire you and make that happen. So we're going to do it 3 times, and we're already taking people on the wait list, and so we're hoping to get people to sign up for that wait list. And so there's a link in the description of this video. You can go click on that and go over and sign up for either the March, April, or May version of this course. And it will be, everything will be pre-recorded, so you won't have to like worry about showing up at a specific time for a live broadcast or anything like that. There'll be a workbook that goes along with it. We'll have a prize drawing at the end. I'll do a live Q&A like this at the end, only it'll be a Zoom call so that you guys can actually interact with me. And so you get all of that, and we're trying to keep the cost on this one down. It's only 5 days, so we're going to go $15 is the cost on this one, and we're hoping to get each one of those groups, we're hoping to get about 100 people in those groups. So that is a fun challenge. We did it last year. Everybody really liked it. We had about 400 people that went through it. This year we decided to go with the pre-recorded version so that it's easier for you guys to watch, and it won't be quite as hard for you. And if the timing doesn't quite work out, you can slide it and watch it, the 5 days before you need to get your planted garden you plant your garden in your area. So that challenge is down below. Click the link and go sign up for that. It would be awesome. We're hoping to get about 100 people on the wait list for the March one. Target is the week of the 21st. Sorry, I'm looking at my calendar here. We'll probably somewhere between the 21st and the 25th of March is when we'll start that March challenge. Okay. All right. And so that is, and by the way, Married with Chickens is saying do the challenge. That is, it's different than the one that you did, Married with Chickens. So this is not the seed starting challenge. This is a different challenge that we're going to be doing. So I would love it if you guys would go and join. So, okay. Thank you guys for, let's see, I'm just kind of looking. Okay. Ashley, email me. Rick at Our Stoney Acres, and I'll send you a link where you can look up your zones, okay? And then can you use water bottles to start your seeds? Yes, you could. You definitely could. You just need to make sure you put holes in them so that it drains. So yeah, anything recycled like that is good. So, okay. All right. I think we'll call that quits, guys. I actually went about 10 minutes longer than I expected. You guys had some great questions, so thank you for being here. It was fun to do this. I haven't done a live for a while, so appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Go follow us on Instagram, all that good stuff. And thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later. Happy gardening. See ya. If I can just find the button to end. How do I end?